mold, pests. Somebody interdicts them and shuts them down and chops them down. I mean, there are all kinds of things that can happen. But once again, it's really whatever you're most comfortable with. So I've seen good greenhouse grows. They just generally don't stack up at the same level that we typically see a good managed indoor grow stack up at. But LED lights, we try LED lights, but we haven't found any that produce the kind of results that we typically get out of an indoor with that Gavita or that Uvo Super Red.
How many square feet do you allot for Gavita?
Our Gavita room is 36 lamps, and there are 12 32-foot squares, 12 32-foot square tables. So 32 times 10, like 260 square feet with 32 lamps. So about 9 square feet a lamp. But remember, we're just growing, you'll see a couple of pictures in here. So this is a 3-a-light, and you can see this is a room. So this is a table, this is a table, this is a table. And all these tables, they're basically 3 lights over a table. But you can see the strain variation. You know, they get these results across a wide variety of strains, which to me just kind of blew my little mind when I saw this facility last year. I was just completely in awe of what they were doing. So once again, they run a fairly small room, and they also tighten up the environment. So if I run a big room, how am I managing my CO2? I can't harvest 300 plants in a day or two. So I'm running, this is on day 1, this is on day 20, this is on day 60, this is on day 70. When you look at CO2 and nutrient management alone, we found by having a little bit smaller room that has a specific harvest cycle, we get better results. Because when I want that CO2 to grow from 1,100 to 1,500 parts per million at day 28 through day 38, you know, when they're done blasting roots and they're now starting to work on their infrastructure and their flower, you know, I wanted to have the maximum uptake of CO2 so they get the best results in their flower. So we tend to go towards a little bit of a smaller room because we can run that room by itself. We can harvest it in one day, we can repopulate it the next day, and we're off the races. Large room grows, all of a sudden you have powdery mildew, thrips, white flies, spider mites. I mean, the list goes on forever. You can have an infestation literally over a weekend can spread like crazy. In a small room, if you have a problem in a small room, you're limiting your loss. And worst case scenario is you harvest the room, you destroy it, and start over because you just had something really naughty happen to you. We've never lost a full room. We've lost a table before when, you know, it was over a weekend and all of a sudden we're 4 plants from Aphrodite on us and they're starting to grow boy parts. I mean, you know, that sort of thing happens occasionally. That's just another view of one of his rooms. I think that's at about day 52, 53. The first time I walked in Josh's grow, Pete Williams and I are standing there, and literally the tops of the flowers are like this. I had to hold my camera up to get pictures. I was just so impressed, which is one of the reasons we now own that company. It's, you know, clear that they're good folks, they do a good job, and our clients need our best efforts. So seed to sale tracking. So right now the 3 big dogs in the plants can be Franwell and Metric, BioTrack, and NJ Freeway. NJ Freeway is cloud-based, and if you've been watching the news, they've had a couple of minor disruptions, but I think they've got that squared away. I like NJ Freeway because I believe they have a better marketing module to what they do. I like BioTrack because it's land-based, and I don't have to, if I lose the net, I can still run transactions. Franwell, I think a lot of people tolerate Franwell, but it doesn't work well with any kind of software for accounting. And you're constantly having to hard batch out your transactions and information to be able to get it to work well. And once again, Franwell's a good product, but it's very specific. It is really seed to sale, and they're not really focused on how you run your business. They're there for security and tracking and diversion management. So those are your 3 big ones. I'm guessing your state will pick somebody if they haven't already. As I mentioned earlier, there's no wrong way to grow. So whether you're going in a greenhouse, indoor facility, you're going outdoor in Humboldt County, there's no real wrong way to grow. I'm working with Jim Belushi and Dan Aykroyd for a grow up in Medford. And they have these wonderful little hoop houses that they bought for his little medical 10,000 square feet outdoors. And I'm going up there 2 weeks from now, but took some pictures of them working plants about 3 weeks ago. It's pretty funny to watch those two guys trying to figure out what to do in plants unless somebody's there helping them. But everybody's in this business. I mean, it's amazing to watch people like that get their hands dirty and enjoy what they're doing. So it's just an amazing time to be around. This is just a picture of our work area. So we run an RO system with pre-filtration. This is our primary tank for water. So when water comes in, it comes in awfully cold during the winter. So a lot of what we do is we let it temper to room temperature. This tank has an 8 gallon per minute feed. We'll pull that tank down. It's a 3,000 gallon tank. We'll pull that tank down to the last 200 gallons, but within about 9 hours, it's full again. So the lesson there is you don't need to spend $200,000 on an RO system if you're going to go to RO water. Spend $20,000 on a good 7 or 8 gallon per minute system, have a good holding tank, and manage it that way. So there's a way you can save some money if you're going to use RO. Now I know there's bubbly water and there's all kinds of new things on the horizon, but we like RO source water because it starts with 0 TDS. When you add in your nutrients, you know right where you're going to be. So as you're mixing in your materials to be able to feed the plants, you know that TDS is going to jump up to 250 on the first. I'm adding this and this, it should be up to 475 by the time I feed. So it's just a really good way to manage your nutrients. So we were talking about the Stolz units. And these are the